我想跟大家分享一些我自己觉得非常非常关键的事情。
It's actually something that many of the Christians around the world are not aware that
而
it's
且这些
taking
事情
place.
是什么呢？是世界上很多基督徒他们其实根本不知道在发生的。
And that is what God is doing among the Jewish people.
也就是到底上帝现在在犹太人当中在做什么？上帝的工作是如何进展的？绝大多数基督徒并不知道。
If we are completely honest,
那
then
因此
we would say that there's no other. The issue of Israel and the Jewish people is a sensitive, hot topic in the church around the world.
那如果我们坦白说的话，你应该知道说，关于以色列、关于犹太人这个民族的这个议题呢，其实在全世界基督徒的群体当中，都是一个很热门又很争议的话题。
So, by the way, important, I forgot, very important. Dr. Postel and me, we bring you greetings from our seminary and the church in Israel. So we are, on behalf of our community, greet you, shalom.
所以对不起，刚才一开始的时候忘了说了，就是潘博士跟我呢，我们都从以色列，从我们自己的神学院带来了向在座各位弟兄姊妹的问安，再次说一声 shalom。
So we need to pass that on, yeah? And in fact, our team in Israel are praying for us right now. They actually have a prayer meeting, so they're
而
praying
现在呢，
for
我
our
们在以色
time.
列的团队，他们其实正有一个祷告会在为我们在祷告。
Now, our community in Israel, by the way, are not only Jewish followers of Jesus,
而且你要知道，我们在以色列的那个群体、那个团队里面呢，并不是只有那个犹太人的信徒，
but also Arabic followers of Jesus.
还有阿拉伯人，他们是耶稣门徒，跟随耶稣、相信耶稣的阿拉伯人。
And so tomorrow afternoon, I'll tell you some more about this. It's quite unusual.
那明天下午会跟大家分享这个非常独特、非常特别的这样一个现象。
In Israel today, just about my video, in Israel today there are 8.5 million people.
那今天在以色列呢，差不多有850万的人口。
Besides doing, seminary and college, similar to what you're doing here in CES,
除了说像华神在台湾做的这些神学院日常该做的事情之外，
we also produce all those kind of videos to tell our people about Jesus.
我们这个以色列圣经学院呢，另外还肩负了这个媒体的使命。我们制作了像刚才大家看到那样的影片一样，向以色列人、向犹太人来传福音。
In fact, most of what we do is in Hebrew and Arabic, not in English.
而我们大部分制作出来的影片呢，要么就是用希伯来文发音，要么就是用阿拉伯文发音，很少用英文的，反而比较少。
And those videos have been viewed more than 85 million times.
而那些制作出来的影片，在网络上的被人家看到的那个流量，超过了8500万次。
So the message of Yeshua, Jesus, is going out.
所以换句话说，关乎耶稣弥赛亚的信息，正透过媒体和网络不断的在传播出去。
Okay, so I'm going to talk a lot about Israel and the Jewish people.
好，我要跟大家分享很多东西，都是关乎以色列跟犹太人的。
But as God is my witness, I am not saying it in a self-serving way or an ethnocentric way.
但是有神为我做见证，我之所以讲这些话题，并不是因为我自个儿是犹太人，所以我讲跟我民族相关的事情。
I believe with all my heart
而且我是发自内心相信，
that the Chinese church needs to learn more about the topic of Israel.
华人教会必须要学习更多关乎以色列的这样的知识跟议题。
Because whatever our understanding of Israel is, it has important ramifications.
因为不管我们对于以色列的理解到底了什么样的程度，你要知道，这个理解会对于未来有很大影响的。
It influences our missiology,
那不管是你在从宣教学的领域来看，
our soteriology, salvation,
从救恩论的角度来看，
our bibliology, how we view the Bible,
从圣经神学的角度来看，
how we do church, ecclesiology,
甚至你从教会论，你该如何建造教会的角度来看，都有影响。
and also how we understand future events, eschatology.
甚至关乎我们如何理解未来将要发生的事情，所谓的终末论都会有影响。
Okay, so I'm saying this in the video, the part you didn't see, but when I became a follower of Jesus, the first person I told in my family was my father.
所以我跟大家讲的这一段呢，接下来你们是在影片里面看不到的。我自个儿信了耶稣之后，我在家人里面，我第一个告诉我的家人是谁呢？就是我爸爸。
So I told them, Dad, I believe in God and in Yeshua the Messiah.
我就告诉我爸说，爸，我相信上帝了，而且我相信是谁呢？相信这个耶稣就是弥赛亚。
And I would love to show you from the Hebrew Bible why I believe Jesus is the
而且我还可以
Messiah.
打开希伯来圣经，证明给你看，我为什么相信这个耶稣就是弥赛亚。
My father is a secular Jew.
那你知道我爸爸他其实是一个那所谓的世俗化的犹太人，他并没有什么特别深的信仰的。
But the first words that came out of his mouth were really typical.
但是你知道我爸怎么说吗？他讲的话其实是正常一般犹太人的标准反应。
He said, well, we have all those rabbis that studied the Bible for 4,000 years,
他说
and
你，
you think you are smarter than all of them.
他说你在干嘛？我们这些拉比读圣经读了4000年了，你这个小子觉得你比他们都聪明啊？
That's not the bad point.
那他这个话还蛮有道理的，不是吗？
I mean, how come the Jewish people
怎么会犹太人？
that have the fathers, the scripture, the promises, the covenants,
你看那个列祖、那个诸约、那个应许，这个圣经全部都是给犹太人的。
do not see, have not seen, and do not see Jesus as the Messiah.
反而经过几千年之后，到现在还看不清、认不明，原来耶稣就是那位弥赛亚。
Now, in the next session, we're going to talk about, well, how does the church view Israel throughout history?
那下一堂呢，我们要从历史的角度来看教会，从教会这边怎么样来看待以色列。
Another reason I believe this topic is important for us because if many of you that are students and faculty here, you teach other people, you teach the Bible to other people.
那这个议题在华神特别重要，尤其是在座很多都是未来的传道人、教师，你们要肩负起教导别人的责任。
And as teachers, we are called to teach the whole counsel of God.
而作为教师，神呼召我们是要教导神全方位、全备的旨意。
And so that is part of it.
所以这是为什么我认为这个题目很重要的原因。
In one of the sessions, I'm going to talk to you about the Jews that did not miss the messiahship of Jesus.
那在另外一堂课里面，我会提到说，的确还是有犹太人、以色列人，他并没有错失、误失、漏掉了这位弥赛亚的。
These are the Messianic Jews.
而这就是所谓的弥赛亚信徒。
So we're going to talk about that as well.
那我们在明后天的那个上课的时候会提到。
Today, this session, I want to talk to you about a passage from the book of Malachi.
那在今天下午的第一堂课里面呢，我们其实会一起来看圣经，要从马拉基书来看这段经文。
Now you remember that Malachi is one of the latest prophets in the entire Hebrew Bible.
大家知道，在整个希伯来圣经当中，马拉基是属于最后面、最晚期的这一位先知。
And in fact, chronologically speaking, Malachi is the last book of the Hebrew Bible.
而且从时间轴上来看呢，马拉基书是整个希伯来圣经里面最后一卷书。
And so I want to read with you, I want to talk to you briefly about Malachi chapter 3 and 4.
所以我们要简短的来看一下马拉基书3章4章这两段经文。
In Hebrew, it's only one chapter. In Hebrew, it's only chapter 3.
那在希伯来文圣经里面呢，马拉基书3、4章其实合在一起是只
So
有一
it's
章。
the very, very, very end. It's the last words of the Old Testament, of the Hebrew Bible.
换句话说，整个旧约圣经、希伯来圣经里面最后的这一个章节里面，
So after this passage, there is a silence of 400 years until the arrival of John the Baptist.
然后这个章节结束，就开始沉默400年，直到施洗约翰来到。
Now, what is interesting is that this passage
那有意
is
思的
read
是，
every year
有意思的是，马拉基书3、4章这段经文呢，其实每一年犹太人都要读的，
in every synagogue in the world
全世界每一个犹太人的会堂里头都要读，
for more than 2,000 years
读了超过2000年了。
on the Saturday before the Passover.
在逾越节前的那个礼拜六都要读马拉基书3、4章。
In the biblical calendar, the Passover is the first holiday, so that's the beginning of the year.
那你知道，按着那个圣经上的那些年历的话，其实逾越节是全年的第一个节日。
And as we will see in this chapter, there is a dramatic messianic expectation.
而待会儿你在看到马拉基书3、4章的时候，你会看到里面有一个非常明显、非常强烈的对于弥赛亚的期待。
in a lot of ways, we can say Malachi chapter 3 summarizes the messianic expectation of the Hebrew Bible.
甚至你也可以这样说，马拉基书3、4章合在一起，把整个旧约圣经所有对于弥赛亚的期待全部归总在一起了。
Now, when I visited CES 2 years ago, I had a privilege of speaking in chapel. I don't know if you were here and you remember.
2年前，我有一个机会，很荣幸的来到了华神，跟大家分享。我不知道在座还有多少人记得。
But at that time, I shared a little about the rabbinic Jewish world in thinking.
那次的那个分享里面，我大概分享了一下所谓的那个拉比犹太教的世界里面他们的思维。
If we have time, I'll refer to this towards the end of this lecture.
那有机会的话，今天这堂课最后可能会稍稍提到一下那个概念。
All right, but before we go to Malachi, just one more thing.
还有一件事情，在我们一起来看马拉基书之前要知道的。
This. I want to remind you of Leviticus chapter 23.
就是我想要特别提醒大家，关乎利未记23章。
So in Leviticus 23, God is giving us a cycle of appointed days that are to be celebrated every year.
那在利未记23章里面，神给了我们一个循环的一个节期，里面有好几个节期是神与人有约的日子。
And unfortunately, you know, these appointed days were robbed from the church. Church tradition doesn't have it. I mean, you guys don't celebrate Feast of Tabernacles.
那很可惜的是呢，这些节期呢，从大部分教会的传统里面呢，被拿走了。那其实大部分的教会其实它并不会庆祝，比方说住棚节，它不会庆祝的。
But I would like to submit to you that these appointed days tell a story. This is why we keep repeating them to understand the story.
但是我想要告诉大家的是，利未记23章里面这些节期合在一起，它是要告诉我们一个故事的。这是为什么我们要年复一年重复过节的原因。
And the story is the story of God's salvation for humanity.
而这个故事是在讲什么呢？讲上帝对于全人类的一个拯救救恩的一个计划。
Now, the appointed days, or I mean, usually we call it holidays, but the word is actually appointed days.
那通常我们称之为节期或者说过节，但是它的字的意思其实是说与神有约、相约的日子。
It comes from a Hebrew word that means purpose.
那这个字的那个希伯来文，它那字根的意思呢，其实在讲说有一个目的。
So in essence, God is saying, I'm giving you the circle of appointed days for a purpose.
所以换句话说，利未记23章里面所有的节期，上帝在告诉我们，上帝给我们这些节期，其实背后有一个目的的。
And the immediate is always a shadow of something greater that is to come.
而且从这个目的里面，你可以立刻看到说，原来它其实是未来将要来临一个更伟大的实体前面的影子。
Now, do you remember from Seth's lecture? He said, "The acts of the Father are a sign for the sons."
大家还记得早上那个讲员跟我们分享的吗？就是先祖所发生的事情，其实是后代子孙的一个预兆。
God is making something as an example for something greater that is yet to come.
上帝让某些事情发生，只不过让他做一个榜样，为了要彰显以后来的更大的事情。
Anyway, and then we come to the Passover.
那接着呢，我们就看到了那个所谓的逾越节。
As I said, this is the initial holiday.
那我说过了，逾越节是全年犹太人要过的第一个节期。
The lamb that was slain was put on the door, and then the Israelites came out of Egypt.
然后呢，把那个羊羔宰了，然后呢，把血涂在门楣上，然后以色列人就出埃及了。
That was the acts of the fathers.
然后那是什么？那是先祖所发生的事情。
What is the sign for the future? The sign for the sons?
那这个记号预兆是指向未来什么东西呢？
That in the fullness of time, the true Lamb of God came, Yeshua, Jesus the
在
Messiah.
日期满足的时候，那真正的神的儿子，那弥赛亚来了。
The Lamb of God was slain, and His blood, whoever has His blood on the doors of his heart, the destroying angel cannot touch.
然后他要被宰杀，要把他的血涂在，不是门楣，是涂在我们的心坎上，是那些所有的那些面的天使不能够碰我们。
Okay, you remember this. We're going to come back to this in future lectures.
好，记得这件事情，我们在未来的几天的课程里面会常常提到这个。
We're going to go to Malachi chapter 3.
好，现在我们就要一起来翻开马拉基书第3章了。
And I'm going to make 3 points.
那有3点要跟大家分享的。
The first point is about the messianic expectation in the Passover.
那第一个是关乎在逾越节里面对于弥赛亚的期待。
and specifically about the divine nature of the Messiah.
特别是讲到了弥赛亚的神性。
As was stated earlier, one of the biggest blocks of the Jewish people to the messiahship of Jesus
正如同我先前讲过，对于犹太人来讲，他没有办法接受耶稣做弥赛亚，其中一个最大的一个绊脚石是什
we
么
see
呢？
that in the New Testament, in the document of the New Testament, and it's true until today,
那你在新约圣经里面也看到白纸黑字的记载，到今天依然如此，很大的绊脚石。
is that Jesus said that he was God incarnate.
就是耶稣自己宣称他是神道成了肉身，这一点对犹太人来说很难跨过。
That is a tremendous stumbling block for the Jewish people.
而这个对于犹太人来讲是一个大的不得了的一个绊脚石。
They say, how can it be?
他说怎么可能？
Now, amazingly, in this passage, as in many other passages, it's the divine nature of the Messiah is made clear.
但是妙就妙在马拉基书的这段经文里面，经文白纸黑字就已经显示出来弥赛亚的神性了。
Okay, so Malachi 3:1.
所以大家一起翻开马拉基书3章第1节。
I want to draw your attention for several things in this verse.
我要特别请大家来注意好几件在这里面的一个重点。
Now, one thing that really stands out,
有一点是特别凸显明显的，
notice who is speaking.
你注意3章1节到底是谁在说话？
At the end of the verse, it says the Lord of hosts. So it's God himself who is speaking.
所以经文一开始说什么？说万军之耶和华说，所以是换句话说是上帝亲口在说话。
But then something very peculiar happens.
然后接下来那个经文就很特别了。
Behold, I send my messenger, and then he goes to the second person, and he prepares the way before me.
看呐，我要差遣我的使者，然后马上转换成第二人称，他要在我前面预备道路。
And then it gets even more strange.
然后接下来经文就更怪。
And the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple.
你们所寻求的主必忽然进入他的殿。
God is speaking about himself in the second person.
上帝是用第二人称的方式在称呼他自己，
This is quite unusual.
这个很特别的。
I continue, even the messenger of the covenant in whom you delight.
然后那位立约的使者就是你们所仰慕的，
Behold, he is coming, says the Lord of hosts.
看呐，快要来到，这是万军之耶和华说的。
Now, do you get the peculiarity in this verse?
大家读这一节经文有读到那个中间那个奇怪的地方了吗？
The Lord of hosts is talking about a messenger, but then he is the Lord. You're waiting for him.
万军之耶和华说：“好，有一位使者。”然后接下来马上谈到说，你们又在寻求的有另外一位主。
So we have to ask, well, who is this Lord
那你马上就要问，那这个主到底讲的是谁？
that you are seeking?
你们寻求的那位主到底是谁？
Who is this angel or messenger
而这个
that
使
you're waiting
者
for?，
你们等候的这位立约的使者又是谁？
In the Hebrew, the word that is translated as messenger is the word angel.
那在希伯来文里面翻译成使者的这个字呢，其实也就是讲天使。
So, very interestingly, it refers to other places in the scripture to interpret it,
To what？
to interpret those two expressions.
那另外有其他的经文在告诉我们说，怎么样来解释这个字的。
So you don't have to go there, but in Psalm 114, verse 7,
在诗篇114篇第7节里面，
it uses the same Hebrew word, Lord, to describe God himself.
那就用了这个在讲这个主的这同一个希伯来字，用来指称耶和华他自己。
In fact, it calls him Lord, the God of Jacob. No doubt who that is.
那他在讲的什么？他在讲说主这位耶和华的对不起雅各的上帝，讲的就是耶和华。
And the angel of the covenant, the angel whom you wait for,
而这个你们所等待这位天使，
is referred to in Exodus 23, 20 to 21.
而就是在出埃及记23章20到21节里面所提到的。
Now, this verse is talking to us about an expectation.
换句话说，马拉基书3章1节在告诉我们关乎一个期待。
Again, every year there's this expectation afresh.
每一年重新读一次，每一年这个期待又重新燃起。
Now, here is the really, really interesting part.
那这个就很有意思了。
You know, throughout the last 2,000 years,
过去2000年，
there have been many famous Jewish commentators that wrote commentaries on the Hebrew Bible.
很多有名的这个犹太的解经家呢，他们就写了很多的注释书。
The most well-known Jewish commentators of all times from the Middle Ages said about this verse, this is talking about God himself.
从中世纪以来最有名的一位解经家，他在注释书里面就白纸黑字写到说，马拉基书3章1节这边讲的，就是在讲上帝他本人。
In fact, a very famous rabbi, Rabbi David Kimhi,
那有另外一位很有名的 Rabbi Kimhi，
yeah, he was a great commentator in the Middle Ages.
他是中世纪很伟大的一位那个解经注释家。
He was an absolute expert in Hebrew grammar.
他对希伯来文法精熟无比。
And he wrote that the messenger
他
and
写
the
这个使
angel
者，
of the Lord are the Messiah himself.
他就说这个使者，这个主就是在讲弥赛亚自己。
In other words,
换句话说，
400 years before Jesus came to this earth,
在耶稣来到世上前400年，
there is a clear teaching we have here about the Messiah and his divine nature.
我们就看到经文里面白纸黑字告诉我们，关乎弥赛亚，还有关乎他神性清楚的教导。
And isn't that interesting? I mean, our people read this chapter every year.
你不觉得很有意思吗？我们犹太人读这个经文，每年读，
But still, it's a lot of things, but it's not Yeshua of Nazareth.
但是不管他怎么读怎么理解，他就从来没有跟耶稣跟弥赛亚联想在一起过。
The second point I want to make,
第二个我要告诉大家的是，
we want to ask what's going to happen when the Messiah comes the first time.
我们要问的是说，那当这个弥赛亚第一次来的时候，会发生什么事情？
And for that, let's read Malachi chapter 3, verses 2 to 4.
那我们接着来读马拉基书3章2到4节。
Who can endure the day of his coming?
他来的日子，谁能当得起呢？
I mean, it's going to be a great day.
这是一个伟大的日子，
Who can contain it?
谁能够那个立得住呢？
God is present in the Hebrew Bible. Mostly, people fall on their
你
faces.
知道吗？在旧约圣经里面，每一次几乎只要上帝一显现的时候，人的反应就是什么？就是赶快扑倒在地。
Think of Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel.
你看以赛亚、以西结、但以理都一样，
Who can contain, who can endure the day of his coming?
谁能当得住？谁能立得住呢？
Now, the expression that we have here is that the Messiah will purify, purge his people.
而且你看那经文上怎么描写？他说弥赛亚要来干嘛？要像炼金之人的火一样，把他的百姓炼净。
By the way, you know, my last name in Hebrew, it means the purifier or the goldsmith, the one that purifies gold.
那我的那个姓氏里面的希伯来文的意思是什么呢？就是那个炼净，或者说是你说是那个金匠要炼净金子的那个人。
So apparently, in some generations in history, my family were dealing with gold.
那代表说，在我以前的不知道多少代以前的祖先当中，有人就专门做这个行业的。
Unfortunately, they've lost the trade by the time it came to me.
那很可惜，他们后来就失传了，所以我也不会。
But you know what is the process of refining gold?
但你知道炼金的过程
Or
是什么
silver？
吗？或者炼银的过程？
I actually didn't know, so I was kind of looking it up.
然后我查了一下，
So you actually find the gold in kind of or silver mixed in the ground. I mean, you find it in the
你
ground,
到地里面去挖出来，那个里头有金子或银子的那个矿。
and it's really impossible to completely clean it.
那然后呢，挖出来的东西呢，你根本没办法分得干干净净的。
And so the process is, first of all, you heat it up to really high temperature,
所以炼金炼银的过程怎么样？你先加温加热到非常高的温度。
and when the gold melts, all the earth and the dirt goes up.
当金子那个溶解之后呢，所有那些尘土杂质就自然的浮现。
So the gold is heavier, so it's sinking down, and all the dirt is kind of standing on top.
金子比较重，所以往下沉；其他那些杂质比较轻，就往上浮。
And you have to very carefully remove the unclean parts, and remove the dross.
所以你要
Thank you.
很小心把上面那些渣滓这样轻轻的把它那个拿掉，
And then you have only the liquid, pure gold.
而留下来的呢，就是那个纯金的液体。
At this point, you can pour it into a specially prepared, designs or however you want it to be shaped.
所以这时候你才能够把那
mold.
个
Thank you. A special mold.
溶解的金子呢，去倒进去你所事先设计好的那些模型里面。
And once it cools down,
一旦
then it's going to be in
冷却
that shape forever.
冷却之后，金子就固定成型，变成你所要的那个样子。
Have you ever had that experience with Jesus?
大家跟耶稣的关系当中，有经验过我描写的这种炼金炼银的过程吗？
That he was pointing something in your life that says, I think I'm going to have to melt Aries a little bit
他
here.
指出你生命中的某一个点，说，我可能要把那个点要加以高温溶解掉。
Now, I usually don't like to be melted. I don't find it fun.
那我自个儿来讲，我根本不喜欢被别人溶解掉。
But when it's done, when he cleans the stuff, when I let him do that,
但是，一旦我让耶稣在我生命中开始了溶解的工作之后，让他把我的
then
杂质拿掉以后，
that part of my life he was dealing with, he can mold it however he wants.
然后在我生命中的那个部分就可以交给耶稣，让他铸造成他所期待的样式。
And when it cools off, it's nicer, but it's not pleasant.
那当然，溶解的过程不容易，冷却的过程也很辛苦。
And this is one of the functions, if you will, or operations of the Messiah.
这是什么？这是弥赛亚他来他要扮演的角色，他要做的事情。
He will specifically do it. We read here, to the sons of Levi.
特别你看他是要对谁做？第3节他说要洁净利未人，利未的子孙。
Why the sons of Levi?
为什么要特别洁净利未的子孙？
From them came the priestly family.
而且你知道，从利未的子孙出现来，接下来就是什么？是所有整个祭司的体系。
And they were the spiritual leaders.
为什么？因为他们是属灵的领袖。
It's especially appropriate to share this in a seminary setting
特别是在神学院讲这样的信息，特别
because the New Testament tells us, let not many of you be teachers.
因为新约告诉我们说，你们中间不要多人都想要做教师。
Because when we teach others, then, it kind of reflects on us. I mean, the way the Lord is dealing with us is going to be more severe, if
因
you
为
will.
当我们去做教师、去教导别人的时候，上帝对我们的期待、对我们的管教也会更加的严厉。
So verse 4, we have the result of the refining.
第4节，然后那个经过炼净之后的金银会怎么样呢？
The offering of Jerusalem will be pleasant to the Lord as it used to be.
第4节，耶路撒冷所献的供物必蒙悦纳，仿佛古时之日，上古之年。
In the Jewish Talmud,
那你知道，在犹太人的那个塔木德里面
the，Talmud is a body of literature that is extra biblical.
塔木德它是一整套的那个犹太拉比的那个文献，是圣经之外的。
It's referring to the Hebrew Bible.
那塔木德就专门在解释、在说明这个希伯来文的圣经。
But it's separated from it.
他解释圣经，可是他是在圣经以外。
And in the Talmud it says that 40 years before the destruction of Jerusalem,
那在塔木德里面怎么说呢？他有一段就说到说，在耶路撒冷被毁的前40年，
some very strange phenomenon started taking place in the temple.
有一些很特别的现象就在圣殿里面开始出现了。
And specifically, on the Day of Atonement,
特别是在那个赎罪日，
the high priest would hang in the holy place
你知道那个大祭司1年1次赎罪日，他才能够进入到这个圣所
a
至圣所。
special piece of cloth in a very strong red color.
那在那里面呢，有一片有一块布呢，是非常深的红的颜色。
And at the end of the Day of Atonement,
strong color or
yeah, red color, very
很
strong red color.
很强烈的那个红色，鲜艳的红色。
That the red piece of cloth would turn white.
那每一年在赎罪日的时候，那块红色的布它会变成白色，
And that would signify that God has accepted the offering.
代表说上帝他就接纳了这个大祭司所献上1年1度的赎罪日的献祭。
But anyway, in the Talmud it says that 40 years before the destruction, this piece of cloth stopped turning white.
塔木德却记载说，在圣殿被毁之前40年，这块布就再也没有变白过了。
Do you remember what year the temple was destroyed?
你还记得那个圣殿是哪一年被毁的吗？
70 AD.
主后
Take
70
40 years
年，
away,
往前算40年，
we come to around the year 30 AD.
差不多就是主后30年。
Can you think of something important that happened around
主
30
后
AD?
30年到底发生了什么重大事件了吗？
Of course. the crucifixion and resurrection of
耶稣-
Yeshua of Nazareth.
耶稣拿撒勒人耶稣上十字架钉死复活，就在主后30年发生
And。so the economy, if you will, of sacrifice have changed.
换句话说，这个整个献祭体系它的机制在30年这个时候已经开始转变了。
And so the Lord, the angel of the covenant, has come to his own.
而这个主的使者来到了他的圣殿，他的地方。
He came to the temple,
他进
just
入
as
到-
Malachi said.
他进入到圣殿，正如同马拉基书所讲的。
You know, in Malachi day, it was the first version. It was Temple 1.0.
那你知道，在马拉基那个年代，
For-
圣殿 1.0
1.0, yes. And 400 years, they beautified it quite a bit. Herod did.
就是马拉基那个时代呢，它是那个圣殿1.0版，然后后来经过了400年的时间呢，他们不断的加以美化修饰。
So by the time Jesus walks into the same temple, it's really big and nice.
所以等到耶稣那个时代，当耶稣进入圣殿的时候，那个圣殿就非常的富丽堂皇了。
And then he sacrificed himself on our behalf.
然后他代替我们献上了赎罪的祭物。
And I imagine that most of us, many of us, maybe all of us in this room have experienced this refining in a personal way.
我相信在座很多弟兄姊妹都跟我一样，有经验过这个被上帝炼金炼银的过程。
And that refinement begins when we realize that there's nothing good enough that I can bring God to buy my way into his favor type thing.
而除非你认清了你自己生命当中没有任何好东西良善足以献给上帝的，否则你这个炼金炼银的过程还无法开始。
And that is the story of the Passover as well.
而这正是所谓逾越节他要传递的故事。
And this is what our people are reading every year.
而这个故事我们犹太人每年读。
The third point I want to make today
第3点，今天要跟大家分享的，马拉基书3章16节到4章3节，找到了，我们一起来预备，请。那时敬畏耶和华的彼此谈论，侧耳而听，且有纪念册在他面前，记录那敬畏耶和华、思念他名的人。特特归我。那时你们必归回，将善人和恶人、侍奉神的和不侍奉神的分别出来。万军之耶和华说：“那日一定，凡狂傲的和行恶的，必如碎秸，在那日必被烧尽，根本枝条一无存留。但像你们敬畏我名的人，必有公义的日头出现，其光线有医治之能。你们必出来跳跃，如圈里的肥犊；你们必践踏恶人，在我所定的日子，他们必如灰尘在你们脚掌之下。这是万军之耶和华说的。好，谢谢。
Thank you. So it begins with one of the classical human traps. This passage begins with one of the classical human traps.
那一开始，这段经文一开始讲的是怎么？是一个很特别，就很普遍的一般人会落入的一个陷阱。
You know, you as a follower of Christ, you start looking to the sides.
那你作为耶稣的门徒，你开始那个看看前后左右。
And you say, hey, the evildoers seem to be having a great time, but the people of God are suffering. What's going
然后
on?
你往左右、前后左右看，说好像不对啊，那些坏人反而享福，然后那跟随耶稣的人反而好像并没有这样子，怎么回事儿？
Have you ever experienced that or have that thought?
我不知道大家心里面有没有冒出
No,
过这样的
maybe
念
it's
头
just
过
me. I don't know. I mean, it's
或者只有我自己这样想，
very common.
很普遍的。
Now, these verses offer some pretty significant encouragement to us.
而这一段经文就给了我们很大的安慰与鼓励。
You know, when those that fear the Lord get together and we pray for one another,
你知道
the
当
Lord
敬
hears.
当敬畏神的人聚在一起，彼此代祷的时候，耶和华神他是会侧耳而听的。
And, you know, the Lord has perfect recall.
那你知道上帝他的记忆完美无比，
However, God hears and he listens
他不但听，侧耳而听，
and he even writes a book of remembrance.
而且他还写了一本册子，什么册子呢？纪念册在他面前。
Now, you know, like I said, God has perfect recall. He does not need to write for him to remember.
那我刚刚讲了，上帝他的记忆好的无比，他根本不需要特别写一本册子来记住的。
But the point is that this book of remembrance is really for us.
但是不要忘了，这个纪念册是给谁的呢？其实是给我们的。
Many places in the scriptures, I'm just going to go over this very, very fast, but there are several places that mention the book of life.
圣经上有好几处经文都讲到了这个所谓的生命册。
That kind of separates those that fear God, the righteous, from the unrighteous.
用生命册来区分那个敬畏神的人跟那些不虔诚、不义的人。
So we see that in Psalm, that's 69, verse 9.
所以你看到那个诗篇69篇第9节。
We see, you see that in Daniel 12:1.
但以理书12章1节也有讲到生命册。
And we see it also in Revelation 20.
还有启示录20章也讲到生命册。
And that's the day where it's going to be very clear whose name is written in the book of life and whose name is not.
而到了那天会非常清楚的显现谁的名字是被记在生命册上，谁的名字是没有的。
You know, I'm sure in Taiwan it's like in Israel.
那我想台湾可能跟以色列也差不多。
Where sometimes you talk to people and they say, well, where's God?
那有时候在以色列，我们常常就会有时候讲说，哎，到底上帝在哪里呢？
I mean, look at this world. Does it look like God is in control here?
你看看这个世界这个现象，你觉得是上帝好像在掌管吗？
You know, many Jewish people will say, well, maybe God had something to do with the world and our people thousands of years ago.
那很多犹太人就会说，哎呀，可能啦，几千年前上帝他是有在管我们这些以色列人的。
But now he kind of left us alone to deal with things ourselves.
现在呢，上帝他已经不管了，就让我们这个犹太人自己来处理了。
Now, Peter is talking about this. The Apostle Peter talks about it in 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9.
使徒彼得在彼得后书2章9节那边他怎么说呢？
So there is a day that is coming where this separation is going to be very clear.
那有一天那个日子会来到，会把这个在生命册上跟不在生命册上的人的分别分得非常清楚的。
Now, 3 times in this short passage that we read, God is talking about the day.
那you mean Malachi?
In Malachi,
那在马
God
拉
is
基
talking
书刚才
about
我
the
们读的
day.
这段经文里面呢，3次上帝提到了说那日子。
By the way, let me open a parenthesis here
那我中间跟大家插入一段话，
and take it to a bit of a personal place for you and me.
那然后来讲一点那个关乎我自己跟在座各位可能都有切身相关的事情。
If you're going through a period where you look aside and you say, wow, it seems like the evildoers are doing so great, but the people of God are really suffering.
如果你的人生到了某种境况，你觉得说啊那些恶人真的是兴旺无比，反而是信徒在那边受苦。
If you're there, that's the time to seek fellowship with one another and to pray for one another.
如果你的生命处在那样的境况下，其实你真正该做的事情是找敬畏神的人彼此互相代祷。
Because God is hearing it, and we will encourage one another.
因为上帝不但是侧耳而听，而且我们还会彼此互相鼓励。
And also, the day is coming where this separation is going to be very vivid.
而且有一天那个日子即将来到，让这个虔诚的人跟不义的人分别的非常明显的。
This is all in the passage that we read. So in this day, you know, the prophets are talking, a lot of the prophets are talking about this day.
那你知道很多先知都讲到了那个日子。
Very specifically, you know, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel.
那特别明确的是什么？是以赛亚、以西结、耶利米都谈到了那日子。
The prophet Zephaniah talks a lot about this day.
而西番雅也讲了很多关乎那日子的事情。
In the New Testament, this day is called the day of the wrath of the Lamb. The wrath, anger of the Lamb.
就是那在新约怎么说那日子呢？他说是那个彰显羔羊愤怒的那日子。
And we find that in Revelation 6:15 and 16.
在启示录3章15、16节那边。
So the point is, there is a coming day.
换句话说，经文不断的告诉我们说，有一天那个日子必要临近。
But on that day is going to be something very, very, very peculiar.
而在那一天呢，会有一些非常特别的事情发生。
For those that have chosen not to follow God,
而对于那些自己选择不愿意跟随上帝的人，
this day is going to be like a burning fire.
那个日子会像什么呢？会像那个燃烧的火炉一样。
A fire that is talking about judgment.
火炉代表的就是审判。
But for those that accepted God's free gift of salvation,
而对于另外一些接受上帝白白救恩当作礼物的人来说，
it's going to be like the sun of righteousness.
就会那个日子会像什么呢？会像是有公义的日头出现，
The sun that is healing.
而且这个日头是光线可以有医治之能的。
Now, the image of God as a sun of healing is something that we find in the Psalms and in the prophets.
而你在诗篇跟箴言里面都会发现有同样类似的画面，在描写这位上帝，他是有医治之能的形象。
And in fact, it's not an it, it's a he.
而且这不是讲说那个光线，而讲的是他这位上帝是有医治之能的。
The Son of Righteousness is the Messiah himself.
而这个公义的日头讲的就是弥赛亚他自己。
And again, there is a very, very interesting ancient Jewish interpretation for this verse.
而且对于这节经文呢，在古代犹太人的传统里面有一个很有意思的解读。
So it's again found in the Talmud.
那是在那个塔木德里面发现的。
And it says this. It says, "The Holy One, blessed be His name."
他说那个圣者，以色列的圣者，那配得称颂的那一位
will get the sun out of its sheath.
我们是从他的
Sheath is like the thing that you take the sword out.
哦，从他的那个剑甲里面去得到了这个日头。
The evildoers are judged in it. The
即便世
evildoers
界
are
是要
judged
被
in
这个
it.
剑抽出来的剑来审判，
The righteous are healed in it.
但是公义的人呢，却反而会被他抽出来的这把剑带来医治。
Why is that such an interesting interpretation?
为什么那个犹太的那些历代的解经家会有对于这节经文有这么有意思的解读呢？
Because it recognizes it's the same person.
因为他读出来这边讲的是同一位。
What differentiates the healing versus the judgment is your position.
换句话说，这同一位到底你得着的是审判还是医治，取决于你。
So I'm telling you all this, again, just as a demonstration of how clear the teaching of the Hebrew Bible is about the Messiah.
我跟大家分享这一整段东西，目的是要告诉大家说，原来在希伯来圣经里面讲到弥赛亚是非常清楚明确的。
So how come our people can't see it?
那问题来了，为什么犹太人读了这么久却读不出来呢？
I'll tell you a true story.
我跟大家讲一个真实的故事。
So I have a friend. He was born and raised in Israel in an Orthodox Jewish family.
我有个朋友，他是在那个以色列那个正统敬虔的犹太人家庭里面长大的。
When he was about 13 years old, his parents divorced.
他13岁的时候，父母离异，
And he moved with his mother to the United States.
他跟妈妈就搬到美国去了。
He finished high school there and he went to university.
念完高中，读了大学。
And in university, he met a nice Jewish girl that he liked.
那在大学里头呢，碰到另外一个很可爱的那个犹太女孩。
And as he started talking to her,
然后他们彼此在那边讲话的时候，
he found to his horror that she was a believer in Jesus.
然后这个犹太男生就吓一大跳，这个可爱的犹太女生竟然相信耶稣，
And he became very angry.
他就很火大。
You know, in the last 2,000 years,
你知道，在过去2000年里面，
there is a big library in the Jewish, bookcase that is of books that talk about why Jesus of Nazareth is not the Messiah.
你知道吗？过去2000年里面，犹太人写的书里面，真的是汗牛冲动一样的，里面讲了好多证明给我们看，为什么耶稣就不是那位弥赛亚。
So this young man started to read all those books.
那然后，于是这个年轻人他就下定决心，他开始要来读这些书了。
And whenever he would see this young woman on campus, he would argue with her. He would
然后
try to prove to her that Jesus is not the
每
Messiah.
次在校园里面碰到这位相信耶稣的犹太女孩，他就要想要跟她辩论，想要说服、证明给她看，你看耶稣不是弥赛亚。
So finally, after 4 years in his senior year, at the end of his senior year, he came to Israel to a very famous rabbinic school.
然后这个男生呢，他就一路念大学，念到大学4年级的时候，后来他就回到了那个以色列，到了一个很有名的一个拉比学校。
And he asked for an interview with the chief rabbi, a well-known rabbi.
那然后他就跟一个很有名的那个拉比呢做面谈，1对1的面谈。
And so he comes to the rabbi and he says, Rabbi, I have a very important question.
他就来到那个拉比面前说：“那个拉比，我有个很重要的问题要跟你请教。”
And he started showing him different passages in the Talmud, not in the Hebrew Bible.
但是他就开始用那个塔木德哦，不是圣经哦，塔木德里面的好多处的那些文字来说。
And those passages in the Talmud talk about the Messiah.
那些文字，塔木德里面的那些经文段落呢，都在讲弥赛亚。
And then he asked the rabbi, he says, Rabbi, it seems like all those passages are pointing to that man.
他就跟这个拉比在请教说：“拉比，你看，光看塔木德里面好多段经文，似乎都在讲到弥赛亚，似乎都在指向那个人。”
Because Orthodox Jews do not say the name of Jesus.
因为你知道吗？真正正统的犹太人，他其实嘴巴里面绝对不会说耶稣这两个字的。
So the rabbi is scratching his head.
所以那个拉比怎么办呢？就那个搔搔头门。
And he says, You're right.
他说：“没错。”
It seemed to point to that man.
似乎是指向了那个人。
However,
但是
our forefathers of blessed memory,
我们our
forefathers of blessed memory,
我们在那个犹太人美好的记忆当中，那些所有的那些列祖，
the ancient rabbis and sages,
古代的众拉比、众圣哲，
said that this man is not the Messiah,
都告诉我们说，那个人不是弥赛亚，
and therefore he's not the Messiah.
所以结论很简单，他就不是。
That was the answer.
答案到此为止。
Now, why would that be a satisfying answer for Orthodox Jews?
那为什么你会反过来问，为什么这种答案也能够来搪塞那些正统犹太教徒，他们就这样相信了呢？
Well, you know, China is one of the few countries that have never persecuted the Jewish people.
你知道吗？中国其实是世界上少有的几个国家，其中一个是从来没有在历史上从来没有迫害过犹太人。
Yeah, I'm not sure if you're aware of it,
那我
but
不晓得在座大家知不知道？
not every Jew knows this. Seriously,
那也不
Jewish
是每
people
个
know
犹太人都
this.
知道这件事情。
This is why Jewish people feel affiliation to Chinese people.
所以其实为什么犹太人跟那个华人就天生就感觉互
Did
相
I
有好
tell you
感
that？my wife is Chinese too? No, I'm just
早
kidding.
上有说吗？我太太她其实也是华人。
I'm sorry. It's a Seth's wife. I'm sorry.
哦，对不起，他老婆不是我老婆。
No, but the point is, you know, there's no inherent anti-Semitism in China.
我要讲的是说，在华人的那个历史的传承里面，其实并没有所谓的反犹太教、反犹太民族这样子一个概念。
However, unfortunately, most of the Jewish people have not been in China the last 2,000 years.
但是很可惜的是呢，大部分的犹太人，他们其实过去2000年从来没有到过华人地区，没有到过中国，没有到过台湾。
They've been in Europe and in the Arab world,
他们
largely.
去了哪里呢？都是在那个欧洲，在那边四处的流散。
And in Europe, there were, you know, Europe became Christian at some point.
那在欧洲，尤其是在欧洲，它变成基督教的那个国家之后，
And important, I say Christian in the broadest sense, yes?
那大家要注意，我这边讲到的基督徒或基督教，其实讲的是那个广义的。
But the point is that in the name of Christianity, terrible things have been done to the Jewish people.
但你看那个广义的基督教或基督教世界里面，以耶稣为名，以耶稣基督为名，反而行出了许多可怕的事情。
And so it came to a point where you can believe whatever you want and be a good Jew.
所以换句话说，对犹太人来讲，就形成一种现象，是说你什么东西都可以相信，你还是一个好犹太人，
Except
唯独
if you believe in Jesus.
唯独你就是不能相信耶稣。
If you believe in Jesus,
你
then
要是相信耶稣，
your family and your friend and your neighbors will tell you, you have betrayed our people.
你的家人、你的亲戚、你的朋友、你的同学，统统会告诉你说，你背叛了我们。
How can you believe on that man when in his name they've done atrocities to our
你
people?
怎么可以相信那个人的名，而这个世界上历史上以那个人的名，反而迫害犹太人，迫害了这么多年？
You know, my last name, Soref, is a Spanish name, Jewish Spanish name.
那你知道我的那个名字 Soref， 它其实是一个西班牙的名字，西班牙文的名字。
Our family was deported from Spain 500 years ago.
500年前，我们家被那个西班牙赶了出来。
The king and queen of Spain at the time, Philip and Isabella, decided that they need to clean Spain from the infidels, and they drove all the Jews out.
那当时的那个西班牙的那个国王皇后伊丽莎白，他就决定把犹太人全部赶出去了。
But the Spanish government
但是那个当时的西班牙政府
A
呢，
few years ago, they decided to correct the wrong.
那就在前几年，西班牙政府终于认清了这个历史上的错误，他们决定要来做一些事情来 来纠正、来道歉。
The Europeans are they're just so enlightened and they're just so advanced. They said, we were wrong to deport the Jews.
那你知道有那个欧洲人他们做这件事情真的是做得云淡风轻，非常优雅。哎呀，我们错了啦，我们那个不该把犹太人赶出去。
And we want to compensate. Compensate. We want to compensate the Jews.
我们要补偿哦，要补偿。
So, they actually have lists. They still keep the lists of the families that were deported.
他们甚至西班牙政府还保存了一个名单，就是当初被赶出西班牙那些犹太人的那个家族的名单。
And they say if your name is on those lists, if your family name is on those lists, you can receive Spanish citizenship.
那然后他就说了，如果说你的那个姓氏是在这个名单清单上面的话呢，那我们西班牙政府这个免费帮你办西班牙的公民。
Now, up to this point in the story, it sounds pretty nice, right?
你如果光看这个事情发展到这边，你觉得还不错嘛，不是吗？
Not that I really care. I mean, I
那当然
wouldn't mind having a
根本不在乎
Spanish, but
我根本不在乎要不要当西班牙公民，但是光看到这边还不错。
But then they said, there's some small letters. There's small letters.
那但是那个公文或那个公告下面就开始有一些小字出现了。
To receive the citizenship, you have to prove that you have a connection to Spanish culture.
那然后小字注明什么呢？他说，如果你要变成西班牙公民，你必须要证明你这个犹太人哦，你跟西班牙的文化有所关联、有所连结，
And you have to speak Spanish.
而且你要会讲西班牙文。
I'm like, it's been 500 years,
你知道吗？隔了500年，我哪里
we're a
学？
little rusty on the Spanish.
西班牙文你早就忘光了。
But the point is
但是重点来了，
that when a Jewish person declares faith in Jesus of Nazareth,
一旦一个犹太人选择公开承认他相信拿撒勒人耶稣的时候，
immediately the Jewish environment starts reminding him of the atrocities that have been done to our family.
而立刻他周围的所有这个家族社会的群体就会立刻提醒他说，历史上过去对于犹太人所做的种种迫害。
And so this is part of the reason. It's part of the reason that for Jewish people, it's very hard to access the message of Jesus.
所以这也是为什么对于犹太人来讲说，要接触到这些关乎耶稣的信息是非常困难的。
Still, with all that, I mean, everything I've told you today,
我今天跟大家分享的这些东西，
this passage we briefly looked at,
这一段经文我们很简短、很简略的看过去，
it's just a tiny little thing from the entire Hebrew Bible
只是整个希伯来圣经里面的一小小段篇幅而已。
that shouts the message of the gospel.
而这一小段篇幅里面，就充满了不断的在告诉我们福音的信息。
So there's a bit of good news.
那好消息是
Not all the Jews have rejected Jesus.
not
Not all the Jews.
并不是所有的犹太人全部都弃绝了耶稣，不相信耶稣。
I'm going to talk about it a little more in the next session.
那我下一堂课会讲更多关于这方面的议题。